Welcome back to Casual Bias Rugby Talking Points. Champions Cup final, the antics after the game, and then whatever news there is. Right? People, welcome. Jake, my man, I saw you had a little rant. You'll be able to go through that rant. How are you doing? How's the fitness updates going?
I'm good, Mr. Casual. But yeah, the fitness is it's taken like a few days break because first of all it's raining a bit, but also I've had rugby to watch, and I went out Sunday. Not out. I had like a park garden. It was a 60th birthday, and I ate like 20 slices of pizza and had some wine. So I'm trying to lose the weight now for again Sunday.
Did you eat 20 slices of pizza on your date?
What? No, I didn't. I'm at a date. But
Okay,
you know what? They had like 120 pizzas in the evening, like for like 100 people. So not everyone eats every bit, and there's just always pizza there, and I just had too much.
Jake wasn't going to miss out on free food. He was not missing that opportunity. No, fair enough. I wouldn't have either. Right? Fair play. Yeah. Jimmy, we haven't seen you in a while. How are you doing, my man?
Yeah, I was sick over the weekend, but I'm feeling a bit better now. We had a lot of rugby, but yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, there you go. Jake, I'll give you the floor because Jake went on an absolutely crazy rant. He believes, obviously, we had the Champions Cup final this weekend. Congratulations to Bordeaux, champions of Europe. 28 points to 20 over the Saints. Was it a bit of an up and down game? Yes. Jake, I agree to some extent. But Jake calling it a robbery is a bit wild. Yeah. Jake, go on your little rant. Why do you say that this was a robbery?
And I stand by it. I need to rewatch the game and probably, not while I'm not on a TikTok live, and probably watch it thoroughly again. Try and take a Bordeaux points of view. But there's just so many decisions that, for me, went Bordeaux's way. And
by the way, but you love Saints. Is this a little bit of a biased perspective?
No, it's not, because okay. I don't think I'm wrong in any of them. Like, I just think there's so many things, and not just that could be a yellow card. Like little things like knock-ons and calls, like certain calls, and they're just so massive in the game for momentum. And I just think it all went Bordeaux's way, in my opinion.
Jimmy, do you agree?
No, I think there was probably a good few calls missed for both sides. The call of robbery is a bit of a stretch, I think. Yeah, there was a few bad calls. But I think the calls that were bad, that I picked up were bad, I don't think it would have really changed the outcome of the match. And for Jake calling it a robbery, I know, like when we talk in the group chat about, oh yeah, like let's say if Ireland lose or Leinster lose, and let's say I'm annoyed at the ref, Jake is always the first one to disagree with me and laugh at me and call me wrong and just call me salty. But when it happens to him, he goes, and I heard that you damaged a few things in the room when you got a bit angry. So yeah, so it goes.
Jake was probably about 20 bezos deep when he made the rant anyway, right? Because yes,
20 slices of pizza deep.
Could be. Right.
Can I just say, what's his name? The Georgian ref's name, Amisha Kelly, has for now temporarily deleted his whole TikTok account.
Oh.
If that doesn't tell you that there's some
it's because you send people his way.
I did not.
It's because of you, Jake. You're the culprit here.
Jake is that guy to create like 50 accounts and just spam comments on each and every one of them just to slander a guy. I agree to some extent, Jake, where this was not the best reffing performance. Like, there's a couple of big things. We mentioned it earlier. I believe both of those yellow cards were red cards, right? Compared to, I've mentioned this before, if you look at that Stormers game, Damien Willems are getting the red. I'm not debating that Damien should not have gotten a red. That's not my stance on it. But it's the exact same thing. The exact same thing. I just believe that this one was even more force. So 2 yellow cards there. The Furbank one, that was crazy, right? Because who was a jelly bear? He could have gotten out of the way. He could have gotten out of the way easily. So there was a couple of big calls missed. Do you believe, Jake, that it took away from the final as a whole?
Do you believe what, sorry?
Do you believe that the big calls that were missed, or the calls that were missed in the game, took a bit away from the final? And do you believe that it was only a yellow card because it was a final? And in any other game, that would have been red cards?
Can I just say how sad I was when Lord Furbank got knocked out? It just ruined the whole thing for me.
Again.
But anyway, no, I actually don't think any of the yellow carded tackles were necessarily red cards. I think the cards they gave were right. I think there's just other decisions they should have looked at as well. And then what were you saying? Do you think it ruined the final? Yeah, I think it did. Yeah, for me.
Jimmy, is that a fair statement? Did it ruin the final for you?
Not necessarily. I think more so. I think Jake's probably looking at it more so at a Northampton perspective because he's an English supporter, and like 2 Northampton players going off injured early on. It's of course it's not great to see at all, but
2 of his favourites, by the way.
Exactly. Yeah, Lord Fairbank, as he calls him, went off injured, so of course he will be quite upset about that. But yeah, I don't think it really took away from the final. It wasn't probably the best game, but it had its ups, it had its entertainment. But yeah, I think it's a bit of a stretch to say.
Yeah. No, I don't think it took away too much of the final. I still thought it was a pretty decent game. You saw some of the French magic out there. I mean, that Jelly Bear assist, it's trash defense, to be fair. Right? 10 guys being stepped within 5 meters. But still, that was magical twinkle toes. The little basketball pass over the top and into the corner they go. How many disallowed tries were there in this game?
2, maybe 3.
Northampton had 2 disallowed, and I think Bordeaux had 2 or 3 disallowed. I think they're 3 or 4.
Do you feel like they were rightfully disallowed, Jake? Can you at least say that?
Yeah. Well, so there was the 4 pass one from the Bordeaux, which I think that was correct, and then there was the one they dropped over the line, one that was held up. So I think they're all correctly disallowed. Northampton had 2 with Pollock disallowed. The second one was right. I think Alex Coles was probably holding on to Tamafuna. Arguably, he's offside at the maul, but it's probably fine. But I think the first Pollock one is for me, it's bad refereeing because it's the one where Finn Smith kicks it ahead. I don't know if you remember, and Pollock chased and touches it down in the first half. And the referee blows offside. And if you look at the replay, it's so marginal. It might be offside, but I think if you're a good referee, and what rugby should do is, if you can't tell, just let it play on, and then let the TMO call it back and make the correction. Like blowing your whistle.
I reckon if he didn't blow his whistle there, if the ref didn't blow his whistle there, that try would have stood.
You think?
Like you can't even tell on the pause frame quickly whether he's offside or not. So to call it on field and not have it play out, I fully agree with that one. I was like, when I saw
agree with you on
that was a bit crazy.
I've had so many, especially French fans, saying, you know, he blew the whistle and it was miles offside, and you want referees to make quick decisions, but when they're that close, you just got to let play, and I think that's just bad refereeing.
Yeah, at least he just needs to dart the ball down. So let him dart it down. Yeah. You know, okay, the try's been scored, but we're going to check the offside. It's not like there's been a tackle made and there's still going to be 4 or 5 phases. Let just that play out, and then you say, okay, we're going to go up and we're going to check it. Because the way that he blew it was like he was so certain about it. And you look at that freeze frame and you're like, this is 50-50.
I also say he didn't blow it straight away. Like, he gave it a second or two. I think one of the assistant judges in his ear must have said that's offside. The 2 assistant judges were Andrea Piardi and Andrew Brace, and they're both also jokes of referees. So there you go.
Yeah. Do you like it that the TMO gets involved in the game, Jake?
Yeah, I do. I like it when TMO makes quick corrections, like, I actually went off this person, it's a line up for them, and which I just think you'd rather get the right decision than a majorly wrong momentum shifting decision.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. But obviously from that we have a massive talking point.
Well, I think we could talk more about the game just a bit, because like there's so many things that happened. I do think there are so many things that happened. Like both their fullbacks, Northampton losing Ram and Furbank, both fullbacks within the first 5 minutes. Like, what are the chances of that happening? And it kind of evened out after half an hour when Burros went off injured and BLBRA had to go to fullback. But it's still just we didn't get that Freeman BLBRA matchup we were all hoping for. It just robs.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, there was obviously the whole week was the hype around Furbank coming back, Ollie Slidham coming back. And it was like, okay, the impact that they're going to have on this game, they're roaring to go. And then kind of just the energy dump that you feel as soon as that happened. It was always going to be a tough claw back into the game after that for Saints, because those are not only two massive players for them, but they are two of the best in the Champions Cup, right? Like, they're sensational. I mean, Furbank was arguably probably the on-form fullback in the world a good few months ago until he got injured.
Yeah.
So for Saints to lose him after all the talk about him being back, tough pill to swallow. Do you reckon the game could have gone differently without that? Obviously, hypotheticals is you don't really want to talk about that, but do you believe that?
100%. Having Freeman, who's a great player, but he's not ultimately going to be like a tactical kicker. He's not going to pull apart their back three. He ran it straight quite a few times. He can do a big kick, but he's not Lord Furbank in that sort of being able to pull the strings.
Yeah. Jimmy, did you have any specific takeaways of the game?
Well, I think when you're saying like, oh yeah, two players going off injured, extremely unlucky for Northampton. Yeah, probably could have changed the outcome of the game, but it was so early on, like, that you couldn't really tell how the game was going to go. But yeah, I think maybe one or two decisions I think that could have went a bit differently, and it might have been Northampton's, but it was an 8-point game. It's of course going to be tight, and there's going to be some fine margins. But yeah, I think Bordeaux probably deserved it, and they've probably been easily the best team throughout the competition.
Yeah, I think you could have. If this was a game that ended in 5 points, right, within a try-scoring range, I think Saints would have been much more upset. But the fact that the game ended with 8 points, it didn't even matter what they still did. It wouldn't have been within a try. That kind of makes me feel like, okay, it's not a robbery that much. Like, it's just a game. There was a couple of bad decisions or whatever, but the better team at the end of the game, they won, right? Just because of the points margin in it. Jake, Louis Bilberet, is he the front runner for World Player of the Year this far?
I thought Penno was the better winger, but he's been brilliant this year, the LBRA. I mean, I still don't know why they don't take club achievements into this award, but anyway, yeah, he's looking brilliant, isn't he? He's looking good.
Mm-hmm. Do you reckon because of the club achievements, it's because it's so subjective in regards to where you're playing, right? Like in the Super Rugby, you're going to score a lot more tries because that's just the way that the game plays. And if you take in franchise level, then it's like, okay, well, the guys that play in Japan, they're never going to have an opportunity because people are still going to say Japan's not as high of a level as you necessarily get in the Prem.
Yeah. But how did Luku get player of the match? Because he was very good. But, I mean, if that second Pollock try had been allowed, the awful tackle attempt from Luku, Swear just blushes there, that try being disallowed. I thought Jalibert was incredible. Absolutely incredible.
He was sensational. Yeah. He was sensational. Do you reckon he should be the 10 for France?
Oh, I always think he's better 10 for France. But it's just the chemistry Intermac probably has with Dupont.
But Intermac is great, but I just think Jalibert is absolutely sensational. The way that he just runs the show, the creativity that he brings, he slots in beautifully with that French team, in my opinion. Like, Intermac is great. Just think Jalibert is better.
Yeah, considering the fact like the rest of the back line is mainly going to be made up of Bordeaux players in France, outside of like Ramos and Dupont. I'd say Jalibert probably has a bit more of a case now to be that France 10, and I think Entamac
especially on form.
Yeah, on form too, definitely. Like Entamac, he had a couple of lengthy injuries. He hasn't really been the same recently. But yeah, Jalibert, like, his footwork on Saturday, absolutely out of this world. And another thing that's out of this world is TikToks. I've been enjoying them the last couple of days, watching them celebrating, doing the Pollock celebration and all that. Yeah, that's been interesting to
I'll
watch.
actually come to you first, Jimmy. What's your opinion on Bordeaux giving it a bit of the Pollock treatment?
I'd have
Do
done
you
the
reckon
same.
it's good, or don't you necessarily agree with it?
Oh, I love it. I love it. I think, and I swear.
Well, we've always sworn on this thing, but
Oh
I'm
yeah.
sure.
So Pollock, great player. I like that he's bringing a bit of flair to the game, but he's a bit of a fucking prick, right? Simple as. And I think with the amount of people saying stuff like, "Oh, he's only 20, don't be too hard on him," seeing people shitting on Sam Prendergast, he doesn't mouth off to anyone. Then Pollock comes in, mouths off constantly, and if you give it, you have to take it. Like I think
That's the
Bordeaux, it's
fact.
very funny what they're doing.
Jake, don't be shaking your head because you mouth off Sam Prendergast all the time.
Yeah,
all the
he's,
time.
he's not a brilliant player.
Off. But he doesn't mouth off to anyone. What's the point of making fun of him?
I've never said Sam Prendergast has a bad attitude or isn't going to be a great player. He's just not ready yet to play Test rugby.
Yeah, but mouthing off someone just because he isn't there yet, right?
I'm not mouthing off. I'm just saying
is more wrong than mouthing off a guy that's been bigging it up and now got.
Guy's been winding people for months.
I've said doesn't start over Crowley, and then that's mouthing off.
That's a debate that we had for months in Ireland,
Jake,
and it caused a civil war again, pretty much in this country.
Jake is acting like he's a saint out here, right? He's acting like he's from Northampton.
I've never said
he's Northampton see it right
cocky. He doesn't have good aspects.
No, listen. When it comes, I'll give you my 2 cents. When it comes to Henry Pollock, I love the guy. I think he's great for rugby. I think he's seriously talented. I love the fact that he's going to the British and Irish Lions. I love characters in this game. That's why I've always said Eddie Jones is a rugby treasure. Wherever he is, he has to be involved in the game, right? Rugby needs this. What's the one thing that rugby needs? Eyes on
casual
the game.
bars rugby.
More than that.
Okay.
Maybe not more than that, but close to it. You need eyes on the game. Those guys get eyes on the game. Henry Pollock is a superstar in the making. So obviously he's giving the antics and he's playing the characters and stuff. I mean, you look at, for instance, MMA, Conor McGregor, right? Eyes on the sport. Jose Mourinho for football. Cristiano Ronaldo. Those are all like great characters. They showcase their personality. And Henry Pollock is doing that for rugby. I've got no issue with it whatsoever. I love the fact that Bordeaux is pulling their shit housery afterwards as well. I would have loved if Bordeaux pulled some shit housery before the game, did this and whatever. But now at least we got it afterwards. So whether he's 20 or 40, I don't really care. He's been giving it, right? They're not really mocking him. They're just like going back with the antics. And I absolutely love that banter. I think we need more of it. I want to see coaches in the press conferences say, well, we're going to smash this team. They better be ready. Instead of, we respect them, good structure, got to be disciplined. That's fucking boring.
Yeah. For a sport that's so violent, we're so respectful to the other teams. Like, they're absolutely killing each other for 80 minutes. And as soon as you step off the field, of course, rugby, it's a game with lots of respect. But I think having that flair in the game, it does, as I said, it does come with being a bit of a prick at times, like Pollock, but I think he's a great player. And
Jimmy, he's not a prick, Jimmy is not a prick.
Why is
he is a prick. On the field, he's a prick, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying outside off field, he's a prick.
That final?
He's fighting, and it's what he does every game. Apparently, from what I've heard, he called the French players mercenaries, which is actually quite funny.
When did he say that?
But apparently before, like he said something about the French players being mercenaries.
He's probably just referring to the celebrations, which like Kalma, and the poses after scoring the tries and those type of things. So Jimmy knows the guy very well. That's why he's calling him a prick.
He's having a bit of fun with like the fans. I don't see how that's disrespectful to other players. And then,
to be fair, the thing is, so Jake, you say you're having fun with the fans. Like, you see when he did that like celebration in the Aviva, they didn't actually show it on the screens afterwards because it would have sent the stadium ballistic. Like, people would have been booing like mad.
Oh, ballistic! Oh, God, they can't.
You don't want to piss off the D4 people, man. You don't want to piss off the fucking Black Rock lads.
But I'm just saying, it's like people call him disrespectful. I don't think doing a celebration in front of fans. He's not starting fights on the field. You know, the French
He
guy
is.
Poirot comes
He
up
is.
to him. No, he's not. He's celebrating.
In other circumstances, he is.
Jerry, calm down. Let Jake go.
All right, go ahead.
He's not starting fights. Even in all the other Premiership games where he does get into fights, which is quite a few, it's usually because a guy has just seen him score and then pulls him or barges into him because they can't take the fact a 20-year-old is making them look average. The same thing happened. He was still one of the better players of Northampton in the final, and that Poirot gets wound up after the game and shoves his hand in his throat. Pollock's not been cited. He has. So clearly he hasn't started it. It's the pro.
Yeah, I fully agree.
Understand
like, that was a bit crazy, right? Like taking it to I love Archie Bargy, but in the game after Archie Bargy, nothing like afterwards. Like you can do your banter and your shit talking, do your social media posts. I don't care, right? Like that I like, but don't shove your hand down the guy's throat. Like that's a bit crazy. But as I said, I love Henry Pollock's antics or his personality that he's showing on the field. We need more of it. I want more of it. You look at the way that the NBA and the NFL, the American sports, they've got personalities everywhere. That's why the game is so massive there. You can get that for not for South Africa, for rugby. It's sensational. It gets people like us talking about it like this. But Jake, what's your take on just the Bordeaux response kind of with the social media posts? You for that or you against that?
It's great for rugby that the Bordeaux guys are giving it back. I annoys me when fans get annoyed in comments because you didn't commit anything. You're nothing. But when the players do it back, it's pretty fun and it's good for the game. Hopefully Pollock gets revenge someday. It's fun.
Well,
yeah, well, he'll be able to do it in the Six Nations. They'll meet up again.
Like I respect what you're saying with that. Like, and I understand. Like, if Pollock played for Leinster, I'd probably be loving him. But it's because he's on the other team that I think
that's
he is.
So true.
That's my whole way of thinking, really. Like, and I think he's a great young player. He's a great young talent. We do need a bit of flair in the game, but I just think he is a bit of a prick at times, and that's probably what you need at times sometimes. But yeah,
Jimmy, the same way that you're seeing Henry Pollock at the moment is how most people probably see Johnny Sexton, because he's also a personality, also gets the people talking. Right, and you love Johnny Sexton.
Johnny Sexton's my favorite player of all time. That's the thing.
Oh my word!
Johnny Sexton's way more disrespectful than Pollock. He went and shouted.
Johnny's probably one of the most respectful people you'll ever meet, like outside of rugby.
Johnny Sexton puts his hand around the ref's neck after the game, and he wasn't even playing that.
In Johnny's defense, the ref probably had it coming too.
No, he's a South African, could never have it coming.
But also, what I was just going to say. It's just gone out of my head now. Oh yeah, Pollock was like one of the only Northampton fans as well, like properly clapping as they got their trophy. But every French fan still calling him arrogant and stuff. It's just like they don't even listen to him outside. They just see like
that's
one
fine.
celebration.
Arrogance is fine. Like what's so wrong with
the thing? He's just confident.
It
seems like a decent lad off the field. He seems like a decent lad, like in interviews and stuff.
Seems decent on the field.
Yeah. But I mean, like it's more so like you probably have to channel something else being on that field.
Yeah,
I don't care how arrogant a player is. Like, if you know you're one of the best, and you are one of the best, then you can be arrogant. Like it's fine. Whether he's arrogant or not, I don't care. Just play decent rugby, and I'm all good. Like, if you're going to be arrogant but you're not really that great, social media will take care of you. That's the point. So let them have their antics. Let them play the game. If that's the way that he plays the game, remember, when it comes to rugby, when it's a physical sport, you get this in, for instance, MMA as well. You kind of want to get in that opponent's head. You want to make them react out of emotion, for instance, instead of thinking about the game clearly and staying to tactics. And if that's part of his game plan, to get into people's head where they want to smash him, but then they don't focus on playing what's in front of them, and it works, why not keep on doing it?
Also, I say lots of people saying he had a bad game. I'm pretty sure he was like still top tackler, top turnover, whatever. He had 2 tries, which could have easily been given on another day. And he was he's 20 years old in his first Champions Cup final, and he's playing out of position at number 8. He's more of a 7. So I thought he did bloody well. Not the best player, but did well.
Yeah. No, his consistency is out of this world. He's been impressive from the get-go, but Saints are out of the Prem as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what is this weekend their last game of the season then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So back to the drawing board then. Obviously, injuries didn't help them throughout the season, right? Then could have possibly been a different story.
Yeah, but they had six injuries to their starting 23 before the game, and then lost three more in the first half. Like, they're just stretched.
Yeah. No, but we had that discussion beforehand as well. Like when we did our predictions, Jake, we spoke about it's going to be tough without the injuries, right? We said that Bordeaux will win this game, even if Furbank and Slido was back, right?
Yeah.
Even though Furbank got injured in the first 5 minutes. So they were already stretched. If you look at the squad depth between the two teams and just the overall quality, you would have to say Bordeaux is the better team overall, well, on paper. And they still put up a good fight. I think if you're a Saints fan, if you look at the way that the season has gone in terms of the performances in the Prem with your injuries and those type of things, you'll still go away from the season with your head held high. Like last season semi-final, this season final. Who says you know you can match with the best now? Build a bit of squad depth, get your players that are injured, get them back, get them rehabbing, fit to go, and then you take on next season again. Like it's been an impressive season.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really should be proud of themselves.
Yeah.
Jimmy, how do you feel with the last 5 champions of the Champions Cup, all French teams?
As Northampton say, mercenaries. That's one thing I do agree with Pollock on.
Well,
Jake, just the final talking point before we end this. Big news: Dan Coles retired.
Yeah, another one. He's seen his old mate Ben Young's retiring. I thought, I'm off. We can concentrate full on the podcast. The best one of the best podcasts after Casual Bias Rugby Fan Forum.
I was just about to say, careful.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's sad that he's ending it, but his body's slowing down now. You can see he doesn't do as long as he used to.
Yeah, but we in kind of that point, and we spoke about it when was it last week, where you've got so much young talent coming through. You've got strength in depth in your props as well. So it's not the end of the world. He's had a sensational career. I mean, that game that he played against South Africa in the World Cup semi-final, I thought he was man of the match. He was so good the way that he approached the game. Obviously, now that Ben Young's is done, one of his close friends, Joe Marler's also done, of course. So it was probably the right time to hang up the boots. But what a brilliant advocate for the game. Also, someone, once again, another character of the game. So now you need some. Joe Marler was a massive character. That's why people loved him. He got a lot of eyes on the game. Dan Coles as well, right? So that's what I said. Henry Pollock, he makes up for one of them. Get us some more characters in the game, but brilliant advocates.
Yeah,
we're gonna call it. Everyone, thank you very much for watching. We do love and appreciate you guys. Yeah, we're gonna call it. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your evening. Good night.